Hi everyone, welcome back. In the last class, we learned about formalism, that is, focusing more attention on the formal aspects of the film, that is, factors like lighting, scaling, framing, dissolving, fading, etc. etc., rather than the content of it. Today, we are moving on to realism. Realism, as you know, is representing uh, the nature around us or the characters or the contemporary life around us in a realistic in an accurate manner, or we may say like this: realism in arts is the accurate, detailed depiction, treatment of nature, characters, or of contemporary life in such an accurate manner. This is called realism, whether it is in novel or film or in painting or any art form. And now we are focusing more attention on realism in film. See, there was a shift to realism in cinema which happened in the post-war Europe, especially in France. It was André Bazin who was behind this shift to the aesthetics of realism that dominated cinema after the Second World War. So, in the history of film, there was a shift, there was a movement from the existing mode of filmmaking to a complete realistic mode. See, you know that Hollywood cinema uh, uh, often depict an unrealistic world of action, adventure, etc. Such films were consumed all around the world. And after the grim realities of the Second World War, there was a shift, there was a movement from the Hollywood mode of film making to a, a realistic mode. So this shift took place after the World War Second or post-war Europe, especially in France. It was André Bazin who was behind it. André Bazin is a well-known French critic. He was the founder of the very uh, art, famous film magazine called Cahiers du Cinema. So he was behind the aesthetics of realism that dominated film cinema after the Second World War. This is André Bazin. According to André Bazin, the defining feature of film is its ability to form a bond with the social world around us and its ability to depict truthfully life in all its complexities. So this was Andre Bazin's approach to film. He said that the most important feature or the defining feature of film is its ability, the ability of the film to form a bond or connection with the social world around us and its ability to depict truthfully life in its all complexities. He believed that film film is able to capture life as such, the social world around us as such, with extreme accuracy. And uh, science in and film is able to depict truthfully life in all its complexities. Life is very complex in nature. So he believed that cinema as a medium is able to capture life in its all complexities. Quite different from the formalists, Bazin was not interested in the formal and technical aspects of filmmaking. So uh, quite different from the formalists. He was not at all interested. He was not a formalist. He was not interested in the formal or technical aspects of filmmaking. He was of the opinion that the purpose of art is to capture and preserve life like a photograph. This is important. The purpose of art is to capture and preserve life like a photograph. So, cinema is able to capture and photograph life as such. So, he believed that every art should preserve life like a photograph. Bazin supported and defended movements of realism like Italian neo-realism or filmmakers like Fellini and Rossellini. Representation of visual and narrative realism are totally distant from escapist, escapist fantasies of Hollywood cinema, commercial cinema. Sorry, not Hollywood cinema, commercial cinema. See, Hollywood cinema has almost become a byword for commercial cinema. So, the representation of visual and narrative realism are totally distant from escapist fantasies of commercial cinema. See, what is the purpose of commercial cinema? What commercial cinema, popular films, what purpose do they serve? The popular cinema offer us an escapist fantasy, which help us to uh, take us away from the normal routine daily life. So realistic cinema was not like that. Realistic cinema depicted the stark reality of the life accurately without coloring them or uh, without making them less accurate. Some important films of this school are Jean Reno's Rules of the Game, Roberto Rossellini's Rome Open City, Satyajit Ray's Apu trilogy, and Franco Truffaut's 400 Blows. These films showed socio-politically relevant narratives. Films of Martin Scorsese are examples of psychological realism. Psychological realism means showing the psychology of characters realistically. The film Birdman 2014 by Inarritu is an example of hyperrealism. Hyperrealism is a mode of reality captured by advanced technologies. So, this is all about realism, realistic moment in cinema. So, we are stopping here. Thank you.